this on the bandsaw to make it even, and I've made sure it's measured about 6 inches. So it's sanded really nice. It's really hard wood. What I'm going to do now, the next step, is to put it on a table sander or a standing sander, whichever one you have. This one's from the 1950s. I love this old cast iron stuff. It's hard to find. You just don't get good quality like this anymore. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this up. Make sure you don't sand too much off, because then you want to turn it. You also want to turn this here. Kind of roll it when you do. Okay. Looks good. Excuse me. Should be wearing a mask. I'm kind of crazy on that fact. Let's just stay by here, and then I'm going to move you over here so you can watch me. Alright, you see me over here at my table sander. Next step to do is to tune it. So what you want to do is make sure you got just a small square of 60 grit sandpaper. You want the kind specifically for wood. You don't want to get the metal. The reason being is that the wood tends to last a little bit longer, from my experience. I always tear off a little piece like this, just a little chunk, and I put it in my turkey vest every season. And I'll keep it in there. And what I do is just rough my calls up right before I'm ready to go hunt. So remember, you start from the outside, and you just go one direction when you're sanding your calls and tuning. Like I said, this is crystal, so it's going to have a higher pitch, just a little bit different. You never want to blow across there to blow the dust off, because what it does is it tends to, the moisture from your breath adheres onto this crystal or glass or slate or whatever you're using, and all these little particles will get trapped on there, so it'll gunk it up. So that's not a good thing. Here's the call the striker that I just made. It's made out of Osage. I didn't go real fancy with it this time, because it's going to be a hunting call. It's practical. I don't charge all that much when I do my turkey calls, when I make my turkey calls for people. The reason being is because it's a custom call. I've seen them go $60 up to $100. It doesn't cost hardly anything. This wood I take right out of the woods. The only thing that I have to buy is sandpaper and a crystal, if I use crystal. Now I do like it. It's very difficult to get. But anyway, take your striker, and what you're going to do first is you're going to kind of twist it, just like you would if you're holding a pencil. Twist it on there to make sure that there's little round ends on the end of your striker. The little round circles tend to grab it and cause it to skip across that surface, and it makes that sound that you hear. That's very important. I'm going to also rough up the other end. And the reason I do that is because it was sanded on that. After you get that done, you want to go back and forth one direction. Okay? Turn it. Do the other side. That's pretty much it. Now, here's what this Osage sounds like. It's very hard. It's a very hard wood, but you'll hear it. I'm going to just do a basic yelp first. You want to hold it at a 45-degree angle. I like to cup my hands over it. That's why I put my little grooves in my calls here so people can grab onto them. This is what it sounds like. Not too bad. It's got that quick snap. That's why I like Osage. I haven't found out any other wood at this time besides hickory and Osage that makes that snap. So you've got that yelp. Let's see what the feeding purr sounds like. The fighting purr is just a little more pressure on your striker. Okay, let's go back in the yelp again. Now, you might find something called a sweet spot on the call that you're going to use. And what a sweet spot is it's going to sound different. If I ever start at the end, it sounds a lot different. Start at the second to the end, so you hear that. Then in the middle, so you can hear the difference. So there it is again. Just totally different tunes. So it all depends. So if you want to do a gobbler, just go more towards the center. If you want to do like a hen, that sounds good. Let's see what the hickory sounds like now when you got that finished. A little bit softer, not much. But anyway, this is what our show is for today. It's making and finishing these turkey calls. So I had fun making. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Tune in next time when we're going to learn how to make a box call. So the box calls that I make, they sound really good. They're a little more time consuming, but they're well worth it. They're made out of all solid piece of wood. So if you decide to try to make your own calls and you run into any kind of trouble, just give us a call at Divine Outdoors. You'll be able to see it on our website at the bottom of the screen. This striker, I'm going to leave it plain. I'm not going to put any kind of like finish on it or protective. Reason being is because it has its own natural oils to it. But if you do get making these, always leave about a ½ inch on the end of your striker like this, unfinished. The reason being is it helps grab that call a little bit better and will really work out. But until next time on Divine Outdoors, God bless you and your family, and thank you so much for watching Divine Outdoors, and may your time in the woods be of peace and be of God.